Well, we're taking just a quick tour of the garden, the greenhouse stuff today. We got about 6,000 plants I've got put together. I'm going to be selling over the next probably 4 weeks. And I got like 20 trays or more out here. These are all my greens and brassicas. Here's my greenhouse. It's a little, not too big. It's 16 by 6. But I have to tear it down for a remodel on my house. That kind of sucks. But I got in here a heated sand bed, and it does a great job. I got all my peppers right here. Over here I got my melons and squash that are coming up and starting just barely. And over here I have some more tomatoes and some peppers. Down here some of my herbs, and a little grow box I have in my greenhouse with carrots in it. Okay, the next thing I want to show you here is my germination chamber. And I put this together this year. It holds 20 trays like this, and it's got a little thermostat. It's got a little probe in there, and it's got this little thermostat here, keeps track of the temperature, and when it gets cold it turns on the humidifier down there, and that heats this up and keeps it high, really high humidity and warm, so really great here in the winter. But it germinates really fast, and it's basically a bread rack, and I put a covering around it, and then have 2 doors, and shut that up, and it just sits out there like that. It's on wheels, rolls around. Well, it is kind of the season, so everything's packed everywhere. Just outside my greenhouse I got some tables here that I've got a bunch of trays of stuff started. And then over here I have one of these hydroponic tubs, but I use this to fertilize water on my plants every week or two. I take all my plants and I fill this up with water and with fertilizer and let them all soak for about 15 minutes each. Alright, so here's 2 more of my tables. These were stacked today with trays, and we planted out about 20 of them today. And so we're going to go into the sales racks next. And right here's my mixer. These great big buckets, I've gone through like 16 of them this year. I mix my own potting soil, and I use vermiculite and perlite and all that stuff. So here's the sales rack. Really come together this year. Gets bigger every year, but I just have a poly tarp over it because we still get freezes, so it's not sealed, so it doesn't have a heat or anything. But it has 2 racks, 24 feet long, so it holds about almost over 100 trays. And here's where I got all my tomatoes all lined up, and some raspberries I'm putting in my garden, and then some strawberries and Jerusalem artichokes, and we got some flowers in here, and I got onions all across here. I grew like 12 different onions this year, some of the pearl drops and the calapinis, and then I always start my own onions, but then I always start sets just in case mine don't work out. But wow, I brought my tomatoes out here yesterday, and some of them like this one right here just did not like being out in the heat so fast. They've been in the greenhouse and been pretty tempered. Here's some of my early ones. They're getting kind of tall, but I'm not sure how old they are, but these ones are about 6 weeks younger. So, and then over down here I have all my melons and some more squash and some corn and more onions and shallots. I started from seeds. And here's some of my bigger peppers, and yet even more tomatoes, and some more melons. Those look like cantaloupe. And here's my lettuce. And these are flowers. First time I've been successful with flowers. And so we did 2,000 of them this year. My daughter wanted to. So this is corn, and it's coming out terrible. I've also did 1,000 of these at the farm, and it's quite nice. These little tubes right here, you work pretty good. You start them, they grow in here for 2 to 3 weeks, and and then you just pop them out the hole down there, and you can get them into the garden pretty much with the roots undisturbed. Well, that was a quick tour today. I'll be doing more videos here in the coming months, and of both the 3-acre farm that I help take care of. A community farm goes to the food banks and Bishop storehouses, and I do about 50,000 pounds a year, and then my little operation here.